This video is just about some small nuances that you can work on in your dog up, dog down. So your dog up, dog down is basically lying flat on the floor and pressing in. That's dog up because you're looking up at the ceiling, and dog down we'll cover in a minute. But let's kind of look at some small little things we can work on here to get a little bit more out of these simple movements. So first of all, my wife here, Grania, is going to do a dog up, but as you'll see as she gets to the top of the movement that her shoulders are shrugging up, which we don't want. They should be shrugging back in that position. She's using some yoga blocks here just because it allow for a little bit more extension at the top, so it allow her to get her chest through her arms a little bit more and create more extension in this upper back area, which all of us need more of. So let's roll it on and kind of go with a good rep. So first of all, what she'll need to do is move the hands back, because you can see the hands are too far out in front of the elbows. The hands should really be underneath the elbows, so she'll move those blocks back. On the next one after this, that's a pretty decent dog up, but if she just moves them back a tad bit more, you'll see that she'll be able to get a little bit more extension. So just a small point also, that she'll extend into the legs and ass and abs before she'll make the extension here. So you really want to have tension in your lower body before there's tension in the upper body, which will allow for a little bit more extension in the upper body, which is what we're looking for. So we roll this on now. You'll see that tension in the lower body first, full extension at the top, then arms lock out because they're underneath the shoulders, and the shoulders can now roll back. So you get this lovely extension going on in that what we call dog up position. So if we roll on and we go into our dog down now, so she's going to prop up onto her toes, and we can kind of get into more specifics here. So most people kind of stay in this position where they're not moving back enough in the dog down position. So all of the weight needs to be moving backwards. The head needs to be moving to the arms. The heels need to be moving down in this position all of the time. Also, and quite vitally as I'm zooming in on this, is that we shouldn't see that the hips are kind of going forward and causing the lower back to kind of be rounded. What we want is a little bit more extension in that position. So I'll just clear this off, and then you'll be able to see she's kind of moving in and out of that a couple of times, but there's a better example of it there. So you'll see that that's where we want that lower back to be, not in this position here. So we want everything to be moving back, which will allow for a lot more of a stretch into the hamstrings in that position, and allow the heels to press down an awful lot more in that position. So if we just roll that on, we'll kind of see again, we're kind of zooming in on that. We don't want to be there. We want to be a little bit more extended in that back. And she's going to move forward and back a couple of times to get into a better position. So you'll see a bad rep will be there. So you'll see that she's kind of extending a little bit in the wrong direction, and we want the back to be a little bit more pronounced like that, without obviously overextending. You don't want a massive curve in that lower back, but most people are just too far away from that, and they're staying kind of more rounded here. So we do need some extension in the lower back. It just doesn't need to be a massive extension. And then as we roll on, you'll see that's where we want her to be, and that'll encourage her heels to go down eventually. But that's an ankle and calf mobility issue, so she works on that, she'll get her heels down a little bit more. So the blocks will allow her to put more weight going backwards all the time because you're slightly elevated. So it's a good idea to use something like blocks if you really struggle to kind of get into a proper position. If you don't have blocks, we roll on, you can see that she's just going to use a bumper plate. This could be a small step, only needs to be a couple of inches off the floor. You'll notice the same nice extension the whole time. She rolls those shoulders down and back, so she didn't want to finish in this position, which would be wrong. She wants to finish in that position, okay? And then into the dog down, and same idea all the time. So a couple of points to kind of keep in mind when you're doing your dog up, dog down, and might get a little bit more out of it and put you in safer lines the whole time, where everything is moving back, and the head is through in that dog down position, and you create a nice extension to that lower back. Okay, hope that helps. All the best.